Share once again. Okay, again a sort of repetition. The Ethernet and Wi-Fi are utilizing the multi-point type of technologies, the broadcast medium, the multi-access type of technology, the simultaneous transmission by the multiple terminals connected to a network. Previously, it was a single cable. Whenever McAfee at Xerox Corporation in 1973 designed or first of all utilize the Ethernet for connecting the printer and the computer or a data terminal. Then it was advanced to utilization of this particular Ethernet type of technology for utilizing a single cable connector to be utilized or to be accessed by the multiple devices. Just add a single device, add a single data terminal, add a single data terminal, just as you can see in this particular configuration. This is the common cable, and various devices are being connected. This node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4, node 5 with the suitable adapter. Initially, the utilization of the Ethernet was specifically in the bus type of topology, where a common bus was simultaneously shared by multiple nodes with the help of suitable type of connectors and adapters. The adapters were connected to the data terminals and the connectors were connected to the common communication media. At the two ends, you can see this particular and this. These are the terminators, which actually provides a proper termination in order to provide a closed loop path for the current or the electromagnetic signal that is being propagated through this. The packets can travel in both the directions. So the media access control was supported with the help of this particular sub layer, and that was Ethernet. This particular Ethernet, whenever we talk about the Ethernet, the configurations, the various configurations actually provided us the standardization associated with the utilization of a single cable shared by all the devices on the network. Once a device is attached to this cable, it has the ability to communicate with any other attached device, This allows the network to expand and allows various data terminals to accommodate various new devices can be added without requirement of any modification, to the newly added devices as well as to the previously added devices. And that was the beauty that was associated with the Ethernet. Previously, it was utilized for the local area network. Traditionally, local area network, we can define the data terminals operating under a single building, or the devices are in the close proximity. The protocols were the set of rules which governs the intercommunication in these closed proximity devices, and that was made possible with the support of the Ethernet. The Ethernet, the procedures that were utilized for the Ethernet, the various types of rules that governs the basic operation of the Ethernet. These rules define some of the terminologies. The medium, one of the terminology is the medium. Medium is the devices which are attached to a common medium that provides path for the electronic signals or the electromagnetic signals to propagate. This particular medium, whenever I am defining this particular medium, I can define air also as a communication medium where electromagnetic signals can be propagated through the air as a communication medium. It was started by utilizing the copper cable. Then we were utilizing the coaxial cables. The coaxial cables were also copper cable, but were utilized to operate at a higher frequency. Then the advent of the twisted pair cable and the present day optical fiber. Wherever we are defining this particular medium for the Ethernet terminology, we can connect the various devices which utilizes the procedures that are supported for the medium. Then another terminology was initially that was utilized was the segment. A single shared medium by multiple terminals is known as the Ethernet segment. The devices which are connected, nowadays we call it as various names, but previously the terminology that was utilized in support with the Ethernet protocol was the nodes. The devices that are attached to the segment are the nodes. Nowadays we call it as the workstations which has the capability of internet working, whatever may be the type of protocol. And the frames at the data link layer, the node communicate the short messages which follows the data link layer standard suggested in the OSI model, having a variable size. That was the terminology that was initially utilized for the Ethernet topology. Here the node, the connector, the terminator are the hardware devices, and the packets are transmitted in both the direction over the communication medium. The type of devices may be differing for the optical fibers. The type of devices may be differing for the type of topology that we are utilizing in support for the Ethernet. Then it was standardized by IEEE. The typical standard number was 802.3. So all the associated standards which provides media access control, the media access control follows the specified carrier sense multiple access / collision detection was termed as 802.3 standard, and it was defined as 802.3 Ethernet standard. The collision is detected, the multiple devices are accessing, at the same time carrier is sensed by the terminal. Listen then talk, sense the carrier, then send. Listen whether the collision is occurring or not. If collision is sensed, then back off from the communication media. The initial standards were 10 Mbps, 10 base S, 10 base 2, 10 base F. These were the terminologies that were supported for the previous Ethernet. At present, we are utilizing the Ethernet which supports 100 Mbps, 1 gigabits per second or 10 gigabits per second. These are supposed to be the present day standards for Ethernet. Again, which follows carrier sense multiple access / collision detection. The data is transmitted in the form of packets sense channel prior to the actual packet transmission. Transmit the packet only if channel is sensed idle, else defer the transmission until channel becomes idle. After packet transmission is started, the node monitor its own transmission to see if the packet has experienced a collision. There are two ways. Yesterday we have seen how actually we are detecting the collision. If the packet collides, it's said to be lost into the communication media. But that collision is sensed and next transmission is aborted and the terminal is back off for a random interval of time using binary exponential back off algorithm. Whatever we have seen yesterday, similar procedure is termed as now the Ethernet CSMA/CD protocol and supposed to be a standard protocols. For that, again, we are defining the specified frame format associated with the Ethernet. The Ethernet nodes are identified by the physical address or hardware address or media access control address, which is a unique 6-byte address. I have shown you in the practicals the MAC address. The MAC address is specifically in this particular form 00055DFE100. It's the 48-bit address. 6-byte, that is 48-bit address. That means this representation is in a hexadecimal format. So it will be 00000000. Then it will be, the next will be 0000, then 8421 0101. Like that, it's a 48-bit address. It's a 48-bit address. Then whenever we are standardizing it, we are actually defining this particular Ethernet address into two parts. The upper part, which is also known as a prefix, identifies the vendor, the manufacturing capability as per the vendor. So it's a hardware address. It's a fixed address. It's a fixed address. So this particular fixed address needs to be properly standardized. And for this proper standardization, the first 3 bytes are identifying the vendor who is manufacturing actually the Ethernet cards. The Ethernet cards, previously the Ethernet cards were specifically manufactured for the bus type of topology. Nowadays the Ethernet cards are manufactured for all types of devices, including the wireless type of devices, where we are just modifying the protocol or procedure from CSMA/CD to CSMA/collision avoidance CA. But the Ethernet, basic Ethernet configuration remains the same, and the last 3 bytes are unique for every host in the entire world for the specified vendor. If that particular vendor is manufacturing, that vendor will not at all manufacture the duplicate Ethernet cards, and that's why first 3 bytes identifies the vendor and last 3 bytes, 3 bytes, that means 24 bits. That means there are almost 2 raised to 24 Ethernet cards that a vendor can manufacture, and such there are large number of vendors. So 2 raised to 24 into 2 raised to 24, the permutation is very high, and that's why this particular Ethernet type of terminology is helping us nowadays also in the development associated with Internet of Things. Every device, every available communicable device can be assigned one fixed hardware address which can be easily manipulated with the support of the socket addresses, the port addresses, and the IP addresses. And that's why the Ethernet actually changed the entire scenario associated with the internet. Ethernet is supposed to be the backbone for all the internet devices. Whenever we are defining the standards that are associated are actually defined well with the support of the frame format. This particular frame format of Ethernet frame format supported for the Ethernet preamble. This preamble is the 7 byte with a pattern of 1 byte as 10101010, followed by 1 byte with pattern 10101011. So first will be 10101010. Second byte will have the pattern 10101011. Such 7 bytes. That means first will be 10101010, second will be 10101011, third will be 10101010, fourth will be 10101011, and the last one will be 10101010. This is known as the preamble. In all sort of digital communications, you know that the preamble is basically utilized for bit synchronization, and whenever the proper bit synchronization is utilized, the transmitter as well as the receiver can be properly synchronized. At the same time, we can specifically design or define the clock rates at which the data can be coupled for this particular Ethernet frame structure. Then the second important part in the frame, recall again the frame structure that we started for this data link layer. It was starting flag, it was ending flag, then it was source address, it was destination address, then it was the forward error correction or the control signal, then it was the data, then it was the cyclic redundancy code. We are utilizing the same format, but now we are actually defining the structure associated with the Ethernet such that there will be a proper synchronization with the support of the bit pattern supported for the Ethernet frame format. The 6 byte addresses, destination address and the source address. Destination address is the address of a Ethernet card to which the packet or the frame needs to be sent. The source address is again a 48-bit address. It's a MAC address. Destination address as well as the source address are the two MAC addresses. The two MAC addresses, media access control addresses, and the frame is received by all the adapters on a LAN and dropped if address does not match. I will show you one animation associated. Just we will finish it. What are the contents associated with the Ethernet frame? Then it's the length. It's the length of the data field that is defined by 2 bytes, which actually provides the information of what is the actual data which is incorporated, which ranges from 0 to 46 bytes. If the data is less than 46 bytes, make that particular data 46 bytes by adding the or 0 bits, which is typically known as padding with zeros, so that the maximum 1500 bytes and minimum 46 bytes. If the data is less than 46 bytes, send or add all the zeros so that that particular data will be 46 bytes and maximum data will be 1500 bytes. See now here, the preamble is 7 bytes, then destination address 6 byte, source address 6 bytes, length of the data 2 bytes and 1500 bytes. So the frame contains this much of amount of information. So 1500 bytes, and then cyclic redundancy code. The cyclic redundancy code actually provides us the error correction. It's if the error is detected, then the entire frame is simply dropped. And the cyclic redundancy code typically used in the Ethernet standard is 4 bytes. So for our data, the additional overheads will be 7 bytes plus 6 bytes plus 6 bytes plus 2 bytes. That means 7, 7, 7, 21 bytes plus 4, 25 bytes plus that will be the overhead for the maximum 1500 bytes. So at the receiving end, for proper synchronization, if a specified format instead of starting flag, here we are utilizing the preamble associated with the Ethernet frame. And that's how the two terminals connected in a local area network, connected by utilizing a common communication media, say a category 5 or a category 6 cable, for a local area network will have this particular frame format, which defines a proper intercommunication at the data link layer. Here we are actually structuring our data into the specified frame format. And based on that, the typical Ethernets were standardized to 10/5. It was a thick net. The type of topology that was utilized was a bus type of topology. That configuration I have just shown you. All the terminals, all the nodes are connected to a common communication bus. Then it was a thick net, depending upon the capability of the coaxial cable. Then it was again utilized for the low cost type of coaxial cables, and the standard was defined as 10/2. The 10/T and 10/FL were the modifications specifically utilized for the UTP cables and the optical fibers. So the Ethernet card supports all those communication medias, the coaxial cable, the UTP cable, and the fiber, and that tremendously gave a boost to the internetworking with the support of this Ethernet device that is utilized for every data terminal nowadays. The typical configuration of a Ethernet bus, the Ethernet bus signal, this particular segment, one segment, it's known as a one segment. It can be connected to another segment with the help of repeater. These are the various types of nodes connected to the bus type of topology. This is a common communication bus. Whenever two different segments need to be connected, we need a repeater. We need a repeater since a coaxial cable. Typically, you might have seen the coaxial cable which is supported sorry, which is supported basically for the TV transmission also. The same type of coaxial cable can be utilized for the bus type of topology. But by utilizing the repeater, we are actually connecting the two Ethernet bus segments. We have already seen this. Then this is the typical topology, Ethernet star topology, that is utilized by all over India. 98% of the networks for the corporates utilizes star type of topology by utilizing either hub or switch as an interconnecting device. For that particular cable, depending on the physical media, 10/5 thick coaxial cable, 10/2 thin coaxial cable, the type of topology for both bus type of topology, UTP Cat3 to Cat5. Then Cat6 supported 100/T. Then Cat7 supported 1000 or 1 gigabit base T for the twisted pair cable. T is for twisted pair and 10/FL for fiber It's a fiber, single mode or multi-mode type of fiber with tree type of topology. It's a tree topology which is supported. The maximum segment length. Yesterday we have seen that depending on the length of the cable, the signal degrades. So the maximum segment that was supported for a 10 base 5 was a 500 meter with at the most 4 repeaters for extension of the network. Then that is the due to the capability of coaxial cable, the thick type of coaxial cable. Then the low grade type of coaxial cable, thin coaxial cables were utilized to carry the signal up to 185 meters. The UTP cables at present also category 6 or category 7 cables we are utilizing for the maximum segment length of 100 meter. With the support of switch, the network can be extended, not restricted to only 4 hubs. The network can be extended up to kilometers, but after every 1 kilometer or after every 500 meter or almost 100 meter, depending upon the type of coaxial cable, the UTP cable that we are utilizing, we are extending the star type of topology after every 100 meters. Make it very, very clear. In case of our 10 base T type of Ethernet segment length. Then the modifications were 100 Mbps bandwidth, that nowadays all our data terminals, say the desktop computers or the laptop computers, they are having a specification associated with Ethernet as 10/100/1000. That means it supports 10 Mbps segment connectivity, it supports 100 Mbps segment connectivity, it supports 1 Gbps segment connectivity. For all types of interlinking of the UTP as well as coaxial cable is also possible with the support of the necessary devices. That's now what we are utilizing. We are utilizing a combination of fiber as well as the UTP type of cable. From the service provider, we are getting the fiber, and for the internal line, we are utilizing the UTP type of cable. The type of cable UTP Cat5 supports 100 Mbps, category 6 supports 1000 Mbps, 100 base FX supports multi-mode or single mode fiber, 1000 base FX and presently 10,000 base FX. With the support of multi-mode and single mode fiber, we are utilizing this particular for fast exchange of the data. For fast exchange of the data with the support of Ethernet for full duplex as well as half duplex operation. Whenever it's a network of network, it's a full duplex type of configuration. Whenever it's the host terminal and the peripheral devices, it's a half duplex type of operation, such as connecting the printer. You are sending the data to the printer, just checking the status of the printer and sending the data. And this particular operation at the fast Ethernet is supported in a half duplex way also. For this particular fast Ethernet, see here, the single mode fiber 100 base FX, the maximum segment length is 20 kilometers because of the utilization of the single mode fiber. Again, recall whatever we have seen for the properties associated with the optical fiber. Optical fiber, whenever operated at a specific wavelength and in a single mode, where chromatic light can be interfaced with this particular communication media. The chromatic light, I mean one particular mode associated with the light that is being propagated will only propagate through the entire length of the optical fiber. The attenuation offered is very, very less. Bandwidth is very high, attenuation is very, very less, and that's why for 100 base FX we need a repeater after 20 kilometers for the optical fibers, But at present, there are fibers which are specifically operated at say 1400 nanometer, can support the attenuation of almost 0.0001 dB. That is almost we require a repeater every after 100 kilometers or 500 kilometers. That depending upon the type of optical fiber that we are utilizing. So single mode optical fibers, attenuator requirement or the amplifier requirement or the repeater requirement is after every 100 to 500 kilometer for the single mode fibers. For the multi-mode fibers, we are in a domain which provides us the maximum segment length of 5 kilometers. The low cost optical fibers, which are nowadays utilized by the CATV suppliers or the cable TV suppliers. Cable TV suppliers are utilizing optical fiber as the backbone, which is carrying normally up to 500 channels, which requires a repeater after every 10 kilometers, which are low cost type of multimode fibers. But that configuration is a fast Ethernet type of configuration that we are utilizing in practice. The beauty associated with this particular subject, whatever we are studying, is actually available in practice. These are all the devices based on whatever we have studied. 1 Gbps bandwidth, these are known as gigabit Ethernet. Uses again the same technique, CSMA/CD, Media Access Protocol. And the backward compatibility is available. Just now I have told you 10/100/1000 modules are available. 1000 base T. The single mode fiber 1000 base LX and 1000 base LH provides us the distance of 20 kilometers to 80 kilometers. Nowadays, these are the figures of 4-year back optical fibers which were supported for the gigabit Ethernet card. But nowadays, again, the technology associated with fabrication of the fibers has been improved. The plasma doped optical fibers are available, which provides a very low attenuation whenever operated at a specific wavelength. Though the cost of communication goes on increasing, but very low attenuation provides us carrying the information from one continent to another continent. I have given you the example. We have the development associated with the internet was basically in the CERN laboratories. Anyone remember this CERN laboratories? What was this CERN laboratories? What is CERN laboratory? What is the specialty associated with CERN laboratories? Yes. Do you recall? CERN laboratory is situated in Switzerland, near Switzerland, near Geneva, where actually all your internet was designed, initial development associated with WWW protocol, World Wide Web protocol was initially suggested at this particular or developed at this particular CERN laboratories and then made available to the public. This particular CERN laboratory is connected with Texas Instruments in US, and the distance between Texas Instruments and the CERN laboratory is more than 2000 kilometers. The two stations, Texas laboratories and this CERN laboratory, is connected by utilizing the grid networking, which utilizes optical fiber as the backbone, where during the LHC, Large Hadron Collider, which was initiated in order to find out the God's particle, Bose-Higson was the particle that was Large Hadron Collider, was operated by many laboratories around the world in the virtual environment, and the huge database was generated, and that huge database was translated to the various laboratories worldwide. That particular experiment was known as Large Hadron Collider, LHC. Major amount of data was transmitted from the Texas laboratories to the CERN laboratories with the support of optical fibers. And this actually gave boost to the connectivity, or one world, one internet. And after that, it was a huge boost to the networking and every devices. It was the attempt for connecting every available devices to provide the internet connectivity or net capability to every available interactive appliance, and that gave rise to the development associated with the present day IoT, which is a huge boost. But the basics lies among the backbone, the common communication media at the data link layer. And this particular configuration, have you heard about the LHC or not? Large Hadron Collider, Bose-Higson particle or God's particle. No one is attempting. I think no one is attending. That's why no one is attempting. Electronics and telecommunication engineer need to be aware of many things. These many things includes the awareness, technological awareness. The technological awareness, electronics is the backbone of all these development associated. Though the computer engineer, the software engineers, they are getting many jobs, but the jobs of an electronic engineer who knows digital communication, all the socket programming configurations are actually based on the sockets that are created with the support of the digital communication technique. Everywhere digital communication is very important, and computer communication network is nothing but the extension of the digital communication, specifically to provide the access for the interconnectivity of the all types of devices. So it's the industrial Ethernet that is being more dominant, so that the Skoda factory in Aurangabad is entirely controlled by their Berlin plant, that is in West Germany. Each and every operation in Aurangabad plant is properly controlled, guided, executed from the remote location. See the huge amount of data that is being transmitted over a public network, with the support of the industrial Ethernet protocol, which supports 1 gigabit per second bandwidth. That's the huge capability of whatever we are studying now. The industrial protocol, the industrial Ethernet are actually providing us a huge boost. 1000 base T are developed, but specific 1000 base T are not at all available. They are 10/100/1000 base T. Just show you one particular animation, then we will stop for today. I will share this particular link where you'll get a clear idea of the basic carrier sense multiple access collision detection type of. Here there are 4 terminals, PC1 to PC4, all are communicating with each other. The hub is used to connect all these devices. We'll start with the initial. If the terminals are asking, is the bus free? If the bus is free, the two terminals are communicating. This is the initial. The collision occurs in between PC1 and PC4. The PC1 wants to communicate with PC4 as well as PC4 wants to communicate with PC1, but the collision is occurring. The packets which are sent to PC2 and PC3 are discarded, and both the terminal PC1 and PC4 are back off, and then start the timing. The timer is how this particular, it's based on the probability function. The first terminal will wait for 5 seconds, the PC4 will wait for 7 seconds, and it will transmit. In the 5 seconds, the information is transmitted. In the 7 seconds, information is transmitted from PC4 to PC1, so that the collision is entirely avoided. Collision is entirely avoided because at that particular time instant, whenever the two devices are backing off, they are also generating a jamming signal, and this particular jamming signal is identified by all the terminals. So PC2 and PC3 are not at all transmitting at that instant of time. At that particular instant of time, the PC2 and PC3 are not at all communicating. So the entire bus is free for PC1 and PC4. This particular configuration is the configuration that is utilized for hub, but at present we are not at all utilizing hub, we are utilizing the switches. For this particular configuration, if the collision is detected, the transmission is aborted. The transmitter that first discovers the interference signal sends a jamming signal, a special jamming signal, so that all other stations know that the network is now blocked. After exponential back-off time duration, the two terminals which wants to communicate checks or senses the channel. If the channel is available, that means the bus, common communication media, is available and the data is sent. The process is repeated until the data again collides with all other terminals. If all other terminals, say PC2 and PC3, wants to communicate at the same instant of time, so again collision will occur, all the terminals will back off, a jamming signal will be generated by whoever terminal which detects the collision first. Make it very clear, whoever terminal which detects the collision generates the jamming signal, so that the jamming signal will inform all other stations that the communication media is not at all available now. All the stations will back off, and the two stations which want to communicate will have a different back off time. Say for first terminal it's 5 seconds, for second terminal it's 7 seconds. So for first 5 seconds it detects the channel is free, sends the data. For next 2 seconds PC4 can communicate with PC1, and that avoids the collision. The collision is detected, exponential back off, collision is avoided. Collision is bound to happen if the number of terminals goes on increasing, but this particular process goes on at a very high speed in microseconds, and that's why the terminal does not get whether your data is, because all the signals are the electromagnetic signals. The type of configuration that is supported by the communication media always supports the transmission at a very high rate, and that's why carrier sense multiple access / collision detection, this particular standard, have actually provided us the development of huge number of Ethernet cards. These Ethernet cards, which are part of now every device, even our refrigerator has now a Ethernet card. That Ethernet card also supports sometimes wired configuration as well as wireless type of configuration. Both wired, it can be connected to our wired switch or the wireless switch or wireless access point, both the devices. That's how Ethernet works. I'm available for any question now. You can ask me any question related to this Ethernet topology, Ethernet technology, framing format. The type of protocol, CSMA/CD. Is there any doubt? Swati Chavan, Saurabh Gadge, Rucha, Rohit, Payal, Amruta, Akanksha. No one is available. Okay, I will stop here. Next time probably we will finish our unit number 4.